Hi there and welcome to the video. So I'm going to show you today how I upscale this clip using Topaz Video AI version 6. Now this clip was generated in Kling 1.6 and the original image was generated in Flux Pro 1.1 Ultra. I'll put all the details in the description below, including the prompt I used for Flux, so you can check that out for yourself if you want to. And so first of all, I'm gonna actually just close this quickly. I'm going to close all inputs, just show you how easy it is to actually bring in a new project. So once you've got the Video AI app open, all I did was just drag the video file into the window and it automatically loads it up. So I've got a split screen here, before on the left and essentially the after on the right. You can rename the tabs at the top here. I've got original. I can call this one processed. You can have multiple tabs open with multiple different configurations in, so you can A/B test various things to your heart's content. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly just put it on single view here, making sure I'm on the after or the process tab. And this just means that when I'm making adjustments, I'm seeing them happen on the larger preview here. So we've got a timeline along the bottom. And how I work here is, because I've got a slightly slower computer and I can't really render preview, I can't really render a preview of multiple seconds without waiting an annoying amount of time. One thing I'll start to do in a minute is, as soon as I make an adjustment up here at the top, so if I go to output resolution, and let's just say I wanted to make that twice the size, so I wanted to upscale that by 2 times, this blue render button lights up here at the bottom right, and click the drop down and I change that to 5 frames minimum, it says. So that basically means that from wherever you leave your marker on the timeline, if you click that button, it will update 5 frames worth of a preview, which on mine just takes a couple of seconds, and then it'll update. And so whenever you change any of the settings on the right hand side, no matter what you do, even if you just click on one of the controls, it'll knock this preview back to the unprocessed view, and you'll have to quickly click the button to re-render the preview. So now I'm looking at 100% because I've got it set to 2 times upscale. So this is how my footage is looking, but I'm just focusing on a still image version at the moment to just get the overall look right. So if I hold down my left mouse button, it'll go between the active view, which has got the current processing applied, and then if I hold it down like that, you can see it goes a bit out of focus and a bit soft. That's looking at the before, essentially. You can have sort of a side-by-side preview mode and a split screen mode, but for a lot of the time I like looking at the single view. Okay, so now I've got my upscale resolution set. I've got an AI model type here, which is you can hover over the title to get some tooltips. And it gives you a little description about, the kind of differences between the models. Now, for most, it even says here, for most videos, it recommends Proteus. So this is going to depend on your own input, of course, but for fairly clean, good quality AI generated images, at least, or video, should I say, I normally settle on Proteus, but there are other options here. And the models with this little yellow icon next to them are the models that Topaz is recommending you may consider for your particular footage. But of course, you can feel free to choose whichever one you like. Okay, so I'm going to go down here, add noise and recover detail. I'm not going to do those on this image, so I'm going to just ignore those for the moment. Focus fix, I'm not going to do that. I am going to apply some grain. So notice as soon as I click apply grain, the image has gone soft again because the upscaling has been knocked off. Like I said, as soon as you adjust any parameters on this right hand side or even check any boxes, it'll knock the image temporarily just to the completely unprocessed view. So that'll come back in a second when we re-render the preview. So now put apply grain. I know from my experience that the default setting is probably a bit big for this clip, so I'm going to change it to 3:2. And then I'm just going to re-click this render 5 frames button. And if you watch the main screen in a couple of seconds when it updates, it will update the preview again. And so hopefully you can see with YouTube's compression algorithm probably zapping some of the quality out of this, but you can see it's got some nice grain on the image now. And when I click another left mouse button, it goes away because that's an intentional kind of showing me the before and after kind of motion. But yeah, I think that grain's looking good. I'm just going to scan around the image and make sure it kind of makes sense everywhere. Check before and after. Okay, that's looking quite good to me. So parameters, we go down to the next box here. It says enable parameters. I'm going to click there. And again, ignore the fact that on the screen now everything will go blurry because we need to regenerate that preview in a second. And there's some options here: fix compression, improve detail, sharpen, etc., etc. But I think the image could benefit with some sharpening. I'm going to do a little improved detail as well, because it's this kind of mechanical, intricate, robotic kind of image. I think it can take a bit of that, but not too much, otherwise it starts to look a bit too crunchy. So I'll just leave them on about that. And I'm going to, again, click the re-render, the 5 frames, to update our preview, essentially. Yeah, I like that. That's looking nice to me. Now, if I go back to fit, it'll fit the whole image in the view, so you can get a bit more of a holistic sort of look of how the image is looking. So that's before, that's unprocessed essentially and just stretched to a larger size. And that is with our upscaling algorithm or upscaling model and our parameters enabled so far. So it's looking nice there. I don't really want to do much else with that on this one. We've got here frame interpolation. So this is if you wanted to change the frame rate. Now this is a 30 frames per second. It'll always say there what it already is, 30 frames per second. I'm not going to adjust that because I think I really like how it looks with the standard frame rate. But obviously here, if you want to go and double it and go to 60 frames a second, and it's then going to generate those in between frames and interpolate those frames, which takes a little bit of time. It's not, even on my Mac, it's not too bad for a short clip like this. But just something to bear in mind, obviously, any extra process you do like that is going to slow the render speed down a bit of creating the clip, but that's absolutely fine. I'm not going to do slow motion here. And then there's an AI model used for interpolation. And for something like this, if I was to change between like 30 FPS and 60, for example, I would just choose probably this Chronos or Chronos Fast. And again, if you hold your mouse over the title there, you get like a tooltip sort of hover up here, just giving you a little bit of information about the different models. But on this one, I'm not interpolating the frames because I don't want to change the frame rate. So I'm completely unchecking that box and turning it off. And now I'm just going to look down. I don't want to do HDR, don't need to do any stabilization, don't need to do any motion deblur. So now we just click export as, and then choose where you want to save the clip. Wait a few moments for it to export, depending on how large your file is, of course, and then enjoy the result.